Hey, welcome back to the DDK CAD Technology Systems ongoing demo series of the composite panel builder software. And in this session, we're going to talk about the auto flat panel or draw flat panel utility, which takes all of the elevations that you've already created in past demo series and creates the flat panel CNC design. So just to recap a little bit, once you have an elevation panel drawn using your convert panel shapes and stuff like that, it actually adds tags to the edges of the panel, and the tags represent the different extrusion types that you may or may not be using. And in this scenario, we're using a PE, which is a 1-inch return, and it's just labeled a PE. So whenever this panel was created, it put PEs on all sides. Now we can tell the program to put a male, female, female, male combination. We can do any combination we want. But this one has this, so we're going to use it. Okay, so that's one thing, and then we have a panel tag number and a color that was associated when it was built, and so that the program can track the different material and finishes that are being used. Now, to do a flat panel design, all you have to do is come up to the Draw Flat Panel button, and now you can say, show me all the panels, or I just want to do this one. So select the elevations and then just click on any part of the panel and pull it up. Here's the main dialog. Now, there's so many things that you can do to the panel or not do to the panel. So we're going to go over these. For example, the first item here is align panels. What the heck does that mean? Well, the question mark is because I don't know. So you click on it. And this is ideal for panels that are on, let's say, conveyor systems or sloping downward or upward or something like that. So the panel, this is not a 3D view. This is actually the design. It's on the slope. So sometimes you want that just to be straight across if it's not grain specific. So in here you could say show it, and then this is how it'll be laid out on the cut sheet. That's all there is to that. So we don't care right now. Dimensioning. Some people want the flat panel dimensioned and some don't. And so you can toggle that on and off. That's what these are for, to say don't do it or do it. And then you can, if you remember early on through the setup, we could set up our dimensioning, our rivets and weeps and so forth. So you get quick access to all of those different settings and what layer you want the dimension, what dimension style. These are already predetermined. And what's cool about this is that if two people were working on the job or three people were working, everybody's using the same I setting, which has all these values preset for you, so that they're not drawing it one way and somebody else is drawing it another way on different layers and stuff like that. So everything is concise and consistent, and that's the way it should be. So anyway, inside here you can tell it how you want the dimensions off the edges and stuff like that, and just the orientation. This one for show extrusions, if it's toggled on and it's a negative number, it'll put the actual extrusion length attached to the any of the legs that are different. So if they're opposite legs, then it's only going to put one dimension in. People like to use that or don't. Okay, so there you got quick access to that, and that was discussed on the earlier video. So here's one, bend allowance. So even though we're looking at an elevation panel that has a fixed width and a height to it, when it gets drawn, and everybody knows this, that the metal has a bending characteristic that you have to take half of that value on both edges, and it usually ends up being around a 32/2 of an inch, depending on now if it's 6 millimeter or 8 millimeters, it's going to be a little bit more. But here's where you would set that and tell it whether or not you want to use a bend allowance. So some people, they don't feel like they need to, but a lot of people run into trouble when they get downstream and all of a sudden they're 2 or 3 inches short on their panel. So anyway, it's in there like ragu spaghetti sauce, which is really progressive, but we don't care. Here we go, add rivets. So do you want the rivets to show up or don't you want the rivets to show up? Okay, it could have been a clip system and then you don't need rivets, but you just want the clips. So inside here again, you could jump in and set your clips the way you want them, or rivets, I'm sorry. Clips, same thing. Weeps. Do you want weeps? Don't want weeps. There you go. You can set whatever the weep layers. Now these should have been predetermined. Okay. Now here's one for show stiffeners. We're going to turn on show stiffeners. In the stiffener dialog, the stiffener spacing. So this particular panel bends around a corner that we're going to draw in a second here. And if the leg length on that fold is shorter than this, then it won't put a stiffener in, but otherwise it will. And if you're going to be running stiffeners horizontal, the auto stiffener only works on verticals, and the panels have to be rectangular in shape. Otherwise, you just go back to the manual command, add stiff, and then just go click, click, and it'll drop stiffeners in. So there you go. We're going to leave that on. Show etched text. Now, what that means is some people want the panel tag etched into the back of the panel. So it's almost like creating a label. So when you turn that on, it's going to actually create polyline segments in there representing that panel tag. So if you have an etching tool for your CNC, use it. Or you don't need to use it, so just toggle it off. I'm going to turn it on for this demonstration. Show quantity text. Well, show quantity text, you can actually, if you're running axes, you can put 4 lines of text in, or just say, no, I just put a single line of text underneath the panel, and that's what we'll go with right there. And we're going to turn that on. So let's close that. Show the flange. So anytime you have a panel that has, let's say, a plan and a section attached to it, you can turn on and off the flange if you want to just glue it. If you want the flange, but you need it to be greater than, let's say, that perimeter extrusion, we're doing 1 inch on the extrusion or the tabs that pop out. You can click on this and put in your own flange size. So if you need a little more umph in it to bite and clamp it down, then you can make this a little bit longer and it'll cut that out for you. Okay, that's what this is all about. Rotate the return tags. That's just like the people that use real long panel tag or extrusion tags. Instead of it running horizontal and running outside the edge of the panel, you can say align it and make it go up and down. And then of course to show the green arrow. Now those are cool. You can how this is going, how they build, like, because we could build 100 panels and draw a flat panel, but we want to tell the program how to space them out. So if you do that, you can say, hey, give me a 35-inch spacing on my verticals, and horizontal spacing is 75 inches. So if you know you have panels bigger or that and taller than that, or 35 is because usually the height of the panel, which is maybe a 40 or 62-inch sheet size. Yeah, anything greater than that will give you an oversized unless you rotated it. Okay, anyway, that's about that. Here's the layering that the flat panel draws on. So these layers for the cut lines and the grooves and the V-groove lines and all the different components that are in your flat panel design should be linked to these layers. Now this a cut layer would be the CNC's looking for an A cut layer. They use the right head to cut through the material and so forth. So you would just walk through these and set the layer that's what needs to be. Okay, so that's how the layers get mapped. Over here, when you have inside corners, let's L-shaped panels and stuff like that, you can tell the program to put the extend the short leg to the edge, miter it, or hand cut it, where you just let it do its thing and you decide, let the shop cut it. So I like it up here. Shear cut, that's for a company that just likes to run the cut line around the whole panel, run route lines out to the edge and let the shop do it with shears. It's like, okay, that's a waste of time. So if you use the V-cut corners, there's another option. Even if they are the same return leg, it'll put a V-cut in envelope cut, but most people like the square edge. Okay, and here's lap. So if you have a longer leg and a short, like a short leg overlapping a longer leg, you can use this lap cut corners, which you can have it offset it so that this edge would fold up into that one very nicely. Or you can have 0 offset and just let it run a square edge corner. So that's up to you. Okay. Add the corner cut. Now this one here will let you use a different bit to shave that little curved edge when you get that cut bit to go through there. And this is just usually like an 1/8 bit or so. And it's just to shave that edge. That's all it is. It's a clean out bit, that's all. So you could turn that on or off. And of course you have to map that layer to that particular head if you have one on the CNC. If you don't, then don't worry about it. Now we go to loop 45. Now this, most people do this. They like the route line and the cut lines to be continuous. So the route line would come out, go up and back down and not pick up. The cut line goes around and it's continuous also. But loop 45 is cool. Loop the folds, or don't loop the folds. And that's like for uh, corner panels to have a fold in it, and then you can have the router bit do the same thing, loop around that. And then you can actually extend on the corner edge, like maybe you need it to go out 1/8 inch and then come back down and then stay out 1/8 of an inch off the edge of the final edge of the panel. So you can do that. Um, so what else do we got here? Oh, if you listed all, if we would have picked all, for example, we would see, let's just do that real quick. You would see a major list of them here. So you could filter that list by just saying, I'm only interested in let's say the O panels, for example. And then we could set anything with an O would show up. So you have a quick way of linking these panels. Or you could just set it back to nothing and say set that, and it gives you every panel. Or you could say just show me the titanium panels or show me the bone white panels, and just so happens we only have bone white panels. Now in here you got standard and special. Special is special because it involves curves. Any panel with a curve in it will line up in this special column because it has to be treated a little bit different. And over here these are just your standard straight edge panels. And once we send these out to the CNC machine, this list over here starts getting greater and these ones getting shorter because it's already been processed. So you don't have the option of selecting it to send it again because you've already sent it. Now, if you made a mistake, you can always highlight the one here, reset it, and it'll put it back and you can redo it. But this is a good way to prevent you from creating mistakes and sending the panel more than once and the guy cutting it said, I thought I cut this already, and then he did, and then you just wasted material. Okay, so let's go back to that T100 or T something, T01, and let's just draw it the way it is right now. And there it is. So I have the stiffeners turned on, so they automatically come in. Here's our dimensioning. There's the fold that it did not have to put a stiffener in there. Now, let's say we got a field measurement back or something, and they said that the plan, the corner of this thing actually did go a little bit longer. Okay, so then all we do is redraw this, and I'm going to redraw it with a quick draw, and then just click on the panel. And then when I do that, now it should probably, see it will, it throws stiffener into this edge right here. So that's how you do, quick designs. And if you wanted to toggle stuff on and off, you could do that with the draw flat panel dialog. If we didn't want certain items in there, and let's just do it back to all. This time it remembers what I drew last. But the options here are like almost limitless, so you could just pick whatever you want and do it. So once you've done your draw flat panel, and let's just draw a bunch right now. And we'll do like this. These are high profile panels that have a lot of a lot of character to them. So we'll do that, and let's see what it gave us. It gave us 4 or 5. So once you get them drawn, you can come back and say, hey, I'm ready to put them in a little container, and that's our staging process here. So we can just highlight them, and this is where we get all the information that we need about this particular panel, and it's walking through all of them. But just sitting there as a flat panel, you don't have no clue what material finish it is. You don't have any thing about what's my extrusion table look like and all that. So that's why we put it in a container like this. So we get out all the information, and we can always move this stuff. This is AutoCAD, so you can just move it down if it doesn't fit. It tries to make the best fit possible. Um, but these title sheets are great for creating PDFs and stuff like that. So I think I covered the draw flat panel pretty good. Like I said, field changes to the elevation panel. Everything comes from the elevation panel itself. If we didn't like the edge on the panel, we'd go back in and swap it out with a return that maybe is a 2-inch return under a window or something like that. So you have all the flexibility, and you can put in your company standards and everything like that. So, hey, give me a call if you need more explanation, or visit the website to look at other videos. Hey, thanks for watching.